EOI students most worry about in their writing exam, and how to be super prepared, right? Because you want to be prepared. How would you like to feel in your EOI writing test? I bet you'd like to feel confident, to feel you have it under control, because you know the types of tasks you can find. And at the same time, you can use nice structures and connectors that you know are going to raise your score in the test, right? If you'd like to feel like that confident, to have that all that knowledge that you know you can apply, know which connectors, know which structures, know, in that case, keep watching, because this video is definitely for you. Okay, this is Toya Santa Cruz, as many of you know. I've been an EOI teacher for 15 years. That's quite a lot, yeah. Back in 2019, I created a website called The Way Experience with resources for teachers, actually, that EOIs all around the country use to prepare their official students. It was a solution for mediation, for speaking, and so teachers had materials based on neurodidactics that they could use with students. But then I realized that I could help a lot more people like you. And I created EOI Por Libre to help you succeed at your EOI exam. That's why I'm here today telling you about the things, the problems, the difficulties that you can face or that you're likely to face in your EOI writing exam. And this comes out of experience. It's been many years. I've been preparing and evaluating thousands of people throughout the years. One of the main problems that you can encounter is that you may not be familiar with the structure of the writing, the structure, what to put here, introduction, paragraph, closing. What should I do? This affects your confidence, and you may lose focus, which will in turn affect the quality of your production, of what you're writing. So this is problem number one, or difficulty number one. Another difficulty is that you may have on the day of the exam is that you can get stuck, either at the beginning or at the end of your writing, either because you can't find the right way to say something that you wanted to say, or the right way to engage your audience, or the proper way to conclude your writing. So getting stuck is something that is very, very common too. Now, sometimes the problem, a different difficulty number three, is that you're not familiar with the topic you're asked to write about. And what will you write about if you can't come with any nice ideas that you feel are worth sharing in your piece of writing? So this is about collecting ideas that are worth sharing in any piece of writing that you're asked to write. Difficulty number four. This is something that on the day of the exam you're faced with the writing task, and then you realize that you didn't practice enough before the exam, and in that very moment you really wish you had. I can tell you, believe me, if only I had done some more practice. This is a regret that I have heard hundreds of times at the door of the exam room after the test from students who didn't have enough practice or enough feedback with that practice. So this is very, very important. Make sure you're practicing enough and getting feedback. Now, what can you do to feel really prepared in your writing test to avoid those difficulties, to prevent them? And then when you are faced with your exam in front of it, and you have your minutes, 90 minutes to write, to do your writing, what can you do to prevent that? Okay, I'm going to give you some recommendations, okay, that come out of experience, totally. So tip one, grab a reliable sentence structure per type of writing. So you need one per each different type of writing. One of the best things you can do is find a template that will help you organize your piece of writing depending on the type of text. So this is super important. And on the day of the exam, you will not add extra tension to the exam situation, because you will know exactly what you need to include in your writing. So it stands out how many paragraphs you need to write, as well as how to introduce the opening and to close your writing, the closing. Okay, so get hold of structures per type of writing. Tip number 2, prepare an introduction and a closing paragraph for each type of writing that you can easily adapt on the day of the exam. This is a very, very effective way to prepare strategically for your exam. You know, we speak a lot about strategy, how to do it so you're more effective on the day of the exam and you can save time. So create a version of the introduction and the closing paragraph for each type of writing. It's not that much work, and you will be so glad you did it when you get to the exam and you have the clarity of a guide that you created yourself. It's not something that you have to, what was the second paragraph about? No, you created it yourself. You will remember. Tip number 3, perfect practice makes perfect. I keep telling you this once and again. Look at the examples of writings that you know come from reliable sources. Use them as a model from your own for your own creations, and then write your text using them as a reference, but adapting to your own writing styles and developing your own ideas. This is very important. Adapting, making it yours, okay? Number 4, make a list of key structures that you will be able to use in different types of writing tasks. Wow, this is a game changer, totally, believe me. List of structures, okay? Together with tip 2, this is a really effective way to make your writing stand out. Ask yourself the following questions. I'm going to give you 3 questions, okay? Which connectors are appropriate for my level, okay? Which collocations will I be able to use in several writing tasks? And use a selection, just a selection. You won't have time to remember more in the exam, and let alone prepare ahead. And what's more, which structures that are characteristic of my level do I feel comfortable using? Because choosing 7, 10 structures that you feel comfortable using, for example, the structure, it's high time somebody did something and have something done for B2, okay? You'll need a few more, okay? Like 8 more, 10 more. Conditionals in B2 and mixed conditionals in C1. Inversions in C1 and C2 are very good examples also of structures that give your writing the right level touch. This is really, really important to bear in mind. Okay, and of course you can check our videos about structures. Excuse me, have something done, how to use the passives with the reporting verbs, how to use it's high time or it's about time. Those videos that you have already available in our channel are for you to see examples of how to use one type of structure in different topics. Okay, and number 5, create a list of the topics that you will have to speak about, write about, etc. in the test. So it wouldn't be wise to go to an exam without having prepared for it conscientiously, would it? So that's why it's a brilliant idea to create a list of the topics that you can use as a reference to plan your training strategically, because you have to train for the exam strategically. There's no doubt about that. So create the list and then listen to podcasts, read articles, anything. And as usual, there is a surprise for you, because a list of the most popular topic per level, this thing that so many of you have been asking about, okay, now you can download it from the description of the video. So I hope you really find it useful, and let me know in the comments what kind of videos and templates you'd like to find. And of course, you have our app, EOI por Libre app, that you can download totally free. There are more than 2,000 people who have already downloaded it. So join the community, join the tribe. You're gonna love it. There's practice for everything. There are different types of resources: listenings, readings, scripts, speaking plans. You have also learning tests to practice specific structures. So make sure you download it, because we've created for you and you can benefit a lot from it. And of course, you'll find there guides, exclusive resources that can't be found anywhere else. And if you like this video, please leave me a comment below. Anything, emoji, thanks. Please tell us about this, create a video about that, because we're reading you, we're following you. And so we can give you more quality content like this, and more people can find it, can find us. You can also subscribe to the channel and be notified when we release the following videos. Remember that I told you that we're going to be releasing one video per type of writing exam task, okay? One for articles, one for informal letters, one for formal letters, one for proposals, one for essays, and so on and so forth. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you're notified when we release them. And of course, as usual, keep up with the hard work and see you soon.